Oh, hey, Mr. A. Oh, welcome, Luna. Luna is a new member. Thank you so much, Luna. That is really cool. Poppy, darling. Poppy and her red Mustang. I need to find I'm gonna find my song that Flies made for me. My friend Flies. Freaking people, crazy people. I'm telling you guys, I don't even know what to freaking say about shit anymore. Kind of crazy. Hold on. Hold on. It is in here. I know it is. I can't believe this. Me and Flies have been talking for years. 4 years. Years and years. I have to find it. But Flies made me a song a long time ago. And I know that it's in here somewhere. I just have to find it. She made a couple songs for me, I think. She did. She did. I'll have to find it though. Okay, so hey Eve, welcome. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. I know people love drama more than they love things going on with young women who this young girl, this is a horrible case, you guys. Horrible. And this young woman, her name is Haley Busby. Haley Busby. Now, she was a high school student. She was reported missing from her home on January 5th. She is from the Indianapolis area, from an area called Fishers. It's kind of a bougie community. I actually lived there for a short amount of time. Couldn't really afford to live there and ended up moving away from there. It is a beautiful place. Fishers is a beautiful area here in Indianapolis. Hold on, I lost something. What the heck, RC? What, girl? Where did you lose that? Give me 1 second. Gosh darn it. I apologize. Hold on a minute. Okay, sorry. Found my phone, put it on the charger, and had my cup of coffee. So, the Fishers Police Department, um, now, Haley was seen leaving her home. It says Ohio home on January 5th. Police Department from Fishers determined that she went missing within days after she was picked up by a man that she met through a gaming website. You guys, we have talked about this before. I want to show you what this man looked like. This is Haley here. Beautiful girl. beautiful. This individual here is the person who picked Haley up. I am not going to leave his picture up there because this is about this young lady right here. Okay. So during a press conference on February 1st, the Fishers Police Department announced that they did believe that Haley Busby was deceased. Okay. They believe that 39-year-old Tyler Thomas is the individual that ended her life. They did arrest him. And this is kind of a crazy case, you guys. So a month after they were searching for Haley Busby, they already had believed that she was no longer alive. She was last seen leaving her Ohio home. I'm not sure why they keep saying Ohio, because the Fishers Police Department is here in the state of Indiana. So anyhow, they reported her missing shortly after she was seen leaving her home, getting into a vehicle with an individual. Now, at that time, they wasn't sure who she got into the vehicle with. Okay. But yes, they did believe that she was no longer with us. Her family wants individuals to know that Haley was a super smart, loving, sweet girl. We've talked about this before. I get so angry when I hear about these monsters meeting these kids on these gaming apps. Hey, Mags. It's horrible. And believe me, it doesn't matter how much these the family is diligent on keeping track of these young children being on these gaming sites and things like that. Predators will find a way. They will find a way. Okay. Law enforcement might come out with, new ways of catching traffickers and predators and things like that. But you better believe predators get around that. They learn how to get around the stuff very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay, so Haley was 17 years old. She was a student at Hamilton Southeastern High School in Indiana. See, that's what confused me when they said that she left her home in Ohio, because she was going to high school here in Indiana. Very sad. So she was last seen leaving her home in Vermillion, Ohio. She was reported missing by the family. They did consider her an endangered missing juvenile who had run away from home. Okay. She went missing within days after she was picked up by the individual that I showed you guys. He is the suspect that she met through online gaming. Okay. Now he picks here. I'll show you his picture again so you guys know what he looks like. I mean, the guy looks creepy to me. He's a creeper. He absolutely is a creeper. So, they said that he admitted to picking Haley up at her home, but he claimed he dropped her off on the side of the road in Western Ohio. Now, of course, right? They knew that that story couldn't have been true. My son had to report a guy this morning on a game for kids. He was asking my 8-year-old grandson, wow, yes, Mags. Yes. It's freaking scary, isn't it? Just a scary situation for that to have happened. Hold on. I couldn't find my brain being in my head today. Hold on a second. Ugh. Okay, sorry. So, okay. So he says he dropped her off at the side of the road. There was evidence indicating that Thomas and Haley stayed at a short-term rental property together after he had picked her up. Now, she wasn't found at the property when they searched it, but absolutely they did find evidence at this property. He was actually doing horrific things and videoing it, etc., etc. So, they had an idea that she was no longer, alive. They kind of figured that. They believed that she was unalive shortly after she disappeared on the 5th of January. Now, what was interesting is at that time, he was not charged with her red room as of the 2nd, but he was being held with no bond at a Franklin County jail on 2 felony counts associated with the case. That included pandering, obscenity, and tampering with evidence. When they searched his phone, it included sexual orientated videos and photos of this beautiful young lady. What is up, Bomber Cat? How are you? So he ended up, they did find her remains, and guess who led them to her remains? Okay. 17-year-old Haley Busby remains were found in Wayne National Forest near a trailhead. I will show you the trailhead. Now, this is sad, you guys, because this little girl was just dumped like trash. Dumped like trash. So sad. So sad. I truly hope that this guy gets what he freaking deserves. This is his picture right here. But how sad is that? How sad is that? This guy knew he was in trouble and led them to her location. So, as of article was done on the 3rd of February, so a couple days ago. This is nuts. At that time, they searched the short-term rental in Hocking County where Haley and this monster stayed. They did find some forensic evidence they feel might be linked to the crime scene, to her unaliving. They are, forensically testing everything that they found. So, I just don't understand. He turned himself in to authorities, and then he showed them where she had been buried. So I'm wondering, they met on a gaming platform. He drove to her Indianapolis home to pick her up, drove her back to Columbus, and they spent time in his Victorian Village home. Deleted files on his cell phone contain videos and photos of the team performing sex acts in the home. Now, his attorney says that he did not unalive her, right? Okay, tell your girl we said hey, Mr. A. No, you're fine, Flies. You're fine, lady. So he's saying he didn't do it. He showed where she was at, but won't say where it happened or nothing. But they are going to throw additional charges against Thomas because as of right now, he's only facing the pandering, the explicit material involving a minor, tampering with evidence. Now, they have him locked up on a $1.5 million bond. They're waiting for the autopsy to be done. How sad. How sad, y'all. But yes, he did show them exactly where her remains were at. He did. But won't say that he did it or not did it. Met him, that, these kids thinking because they play games with certain individuals or, they are texting someone or even talking to someone on the phone, that they know them, right? Yeah, that's exactly what he thought, Mags. That's exactly what he thought. What I guess I would like to know is, was he the only person that was in the explicit content, I'll say, on his devices? Obviously, they're not saying that anyone else was involved in it. I can't imagine how her family is feeling. I just can't. That is so sad. 17 years old. Now, Tyler Thompson is 39. Last seen at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Picked her up, said, I dumped her on the side of the road. I picked her up, but I dumped her on the side of the road. I wonder how they knew to contact him. They said he turned himself in, right? They did find forensic evidence in the rental property. How sad is that? That is so sad. Sad, sad, sad. I hadn't even talked about the Savannah Guthrie's, the host of the Today Show. Her mother's missing. Her mother is missing. I'll do that by itself, though. I will do that by itself. For sure. For sure. That is, and just 4 years old. They do believe that, foul play is involved. Now, I know that they were trying to say that they believe the son-in-law was involved. I don't know if they still believe that. They had received a bunch of, ransom notes. You know what? That gets me. That is so sickening to me when you have a missing child or a missing adult and people will call the family and, say things like, "Oh, hey, we got your daughter. I know where your daughter or son's at." They will send fake ransom notes. I mean, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. So we are praying that, her mother, is found. But like I said, I'll have to do that story on its own, for sure. For sure, for sure. So, I know people don't get into talking about children, true crime cases, trafficking aspects and different things like that. People get into the drama of everything, and, it's sad. It is very sad, but, you know, people lie to get attention for themselves. I don't understand it, don't need to understand it, really don't care. Um, it's, you know, it's just sad all the freaking way around. It is sad to me that people will go around trying to cause shit, um, for what? I don't understand it, but I guess I ain't meant to understand it, for sure. Puppy girl, you are cooking all the time, lady. Poppy's always cooking something. Mhm. Well, you gotta feed your man. You have to feed your man, for sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, there's been some really, There's crazy shit going on YouTube for sure. Um, you know, I guess some people just need to take a nap. Take a nap for sure. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my mm, 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 mm. Okay, hold on a minute. Oh, they did arrest somebody for the fake ransom demand that was sent to Savannah Guthrie's family. Good for them. They need to put a stop to that. I'm going to leave up everything I have on that case. Ugh, how sad is that? Freaking weirdos. It's very sad. There was a 5-year-old that was unalived by a snowboarder that was going 50 miles an hour on a ski slope. Was it on a kid's ski slope? Who knows? I mean, there's real stuff going on in the world, right? Real horrific things going on in the world. Um, okay. I had to make sure. I had to make sure that my live was doing all right. Okay. I'm trying to see because I had some cases I wanted to talk about. I can get rid of all that stuff. I can get rid of all of that. I don't think there's I don't think there's really anything else I have. So we'll keep an eye on the Busby case and see if what charges are going to come down for this guy. I This is a sad thing because um I don't know if they're going to be able to tell exactly uh what she passed away from for sure. But she was only 19. He was almost 40 years old. Almost 40 years old. How sad is that? How sad. Oh shit. Shit fire. Just crazy. All right. What else you guys want to talk about? Just say it and I'll talk about it. Whatever you want to talk about. Whatever. Whatever. Rest in peace, Haley. Um, we're praying for you and your family. I couldn't imagine a loss like that. I really couldn't. That is so sad. Um, I got my watch later list pulled up. I have everything I need. Um, I'm gonna go through and get rid of what I have on Ernie Shell on my watch later list. Um, he made the news. There's a news article. I don't know where it went. I actually read it. Um, but I don't know. I can't even remember where I freaking why that popped up on my stuff. But he did what he wanted. He got on the news. Everybody talking about him. Good for you, Ernie. Good for you, man. Do you guys realize that a child can go missing in a matter of seconds? Matter of seconds. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Did you guys find some good um platforms that were celebrating Summer's birthday yesterday? Uh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll research them. You send them to me, I'll research them for sure, for sure, for sure. No, I guess we'll find out things when we find out things, right? For sure. You've got daycare workers. You guys remember that story that I talked about with the daycare facility? The a child died from vent, and it was they had hid it. They had hid the substance under the floorboards, and the children were crawling all around the floorboards. And one of the children died from a fent overdose. I mean, for real. Let me ask you guys this: do you think that individual states should keep a registry of individuals who were charged with DV with DV. Now I know they have the RSO registries, right? I'm talking about DV for sure. I don't know. I don't know. And I I do. I mean, I get feisty. I have my freaking moments. I do try to be a good person. I'm not gonna say that I'm a wonderful person and all this other stuff, but I don't like people who lie, right? Even if it's something, you know, somebody talking shit about somebody or whatever. If somebody was like, "Hey, RC, I talk shit about you," I would be like, "Well, I appreciate you letting me know that," right? Now, um, I've experienced that. Mama bear dogged me out about something, I can't remember what it was. I don't hold it against her. Now, Roe, She called me a name I didn't appreciate. That took a little bit more of my, energy than I really wanted it to, but you don't see me over here talking about Roe, right? But don't lie, don't lie. See, I think what the problem is there are some individuals that may be told something by someone and they take it as factual information, right? Now, sometimes it's not factual information. So then they want to come out publicly and act like the information that they have from their source is factual when there's a chance that no, it's not going to be factual information. There's also a lot of people that do fucked up shit and they try to like they say, I may be doing something with my right hand that you can see, but it's really the left hand that you should be paying attention to, right? People like that. People like that. But fucking weird shit. That's why I like receipts. Move on down the road. We'll even pack them up. Okay, thank you, Mads. I will do that right now, darling. You know I'm a Googler. I am a Googler. Oh, I'm, I'm using one top today. Louisville, Iowa, Kentucky, home. You know what's sad? That oh wow. Okay, hold on. Former Louisville police. Let me share this. Thanks, Matt. Thank you. All right, wait. Sending me a message. Well, thanks for letting me know that my internet was restored. I didn't know I had a problem with it. Former Louisville police officer arrested, charged with stalking and harassing ex-girlfriend. Wow. So this was around April of last year. I mean, you guys know what? And this is the truth. There are quite a few police officers in the whole United States that do things like this. Oh, what was okay. All right, class. What was the guy's name? I just watched something on him last night. Um, Drew Peterson. Do you guys remember Drew Peterson? Nicholas Chase and Shelby Cutts. Coots. Coots. Okay, let's see what this dude. A Louisville Metro police officer who resigned earlier this amid a department investigation was indicted Wednesday on 9 charges of stalking, tampering with public records, and violating an interpersonal protective order. What's the interpersonal protective order? Is that different than a regular I gotta do it. Hold on, you guys. I am sorry. Interpersonal protective personal protective order. Kentucky. Let's see. Uh, it's a civil court order that protects victims of dating violence and abuse or sexual assault or stalking. This is from the womenslaws.org. So it is a civil court order. When it is committed by someone who is not a family member or an intimate partner with whom you live or have a child. So, oh boy was just okay. Let's go back to the and this is you guys, this website, womenslaw.org. Please go check it out if you have a chance. It talks about a lot of women's laws for sure. Corporal charge was the I know, I know. Well, they get that brass behind them, right? And they want to, um, act like they have it. They have all this authority. And not only that, but they're familiar with state law, right? So a lot of these guys, even women, I'll say, um, it's like they push that line of being the law and against the law, right? Few officers being looked into for misuse. I've been looking into it, several beating up people for absence. Oh man, Mags, that happens everywhere. That happens everywhere for sure. Okay, so he he resigned. Well, of course, you know what makes me mad too? Sorry, thank you, flies. Thank you. I know I run my mouth all the time. But I forgot. Oh, because a lot of them actually, um, they are just put on leave, and sometimes it's paid leave. So even though you know they're guilty of what they did, it's always it's under investigation, and some of these guilty individuals will stay on the payroll for months until the investigation's done. So, but he did resign. LMPD said in a written statement Thursday it received a complaint March 12th about concerning behavior by 25-year-old officer Roberto Sedano. The Public Integrity Unit began to investigate the complaint, and Chief Paul Humphrey began the termination process. But on April 8th, he resigned before either could be completed. Now, isn't that something? Because listen to this. They were terminating this guy. They were going to fire this guy, but he resigned. Do y'all know what that means? For real. Are y'all listening to me? Why does that benefit Officer Roberto Sedano? Do they get that if they resign? I don't know if they get that flies when they resign, right? I do know that putting in for other positions, even for like security, he's gonna be able to say, "Oh, I resigned. I resigned. I left on my own free will." If he would have gotten terminated, he wouldn't have been able to use that, or I wouldn't think he would have wanted to. What is up, the mouse? Good to see you. Hey, has anybody heard from Jack? I want to check on Jack for sure. Jack, I hope you're doing okay. I'm sending you prayers. And as always, Pat Wicks, I love you, girl. He will still get full benefits, so he can kind of get like workman's comp. Well, no, he can't get workman's comp. All right, let's find out what this freaking scallywag did. According to his arrest warrant, his ex-girlfriend filed an IPO against him March 17th. Later on the same day he resigned, he went to the Canary Club, which is a bar in Louisville's Shelby Park neighborhood, after the victim posted a picture on social media. When he arrived there, they made eye contact before the victim left, but remained in the area. So she files the protective order. She's at a bar. She posts a picture and he shows up. Make sure that she sees him and she's out of there, but she stays in the area. According to the arrest warrant, he stayed for about 2 hours. He was seen on multiple surveillance cameras walking around the bar, moving his car to multiple locations within 500 feet of the building. When the victim left the area, she drove past his car and he began to follow her. Uh, then she files another police report, and 3 days later, on the 11th of April, he was arrested for a violation of the protective order. Now, he was released from jail on his own recognizances on April 12th. Now, I guess I have a question here, only because I ask a lot of questions. When when she left the area, did she drive past his car because there was no other way out of that parking area at the bar? Or did she go past his car to let him know, I got your ass, you followed me here, you're in trouble now, mister? You know what I mean? I'm not downplaying what this guy has done, okay? I just ask questions, that's all. Lady that done the article on Ernie, I have mutual friends with her on Facebook. I'm going to try to find out about her. She seems to be one of these simps. You know what I noticed about that, Mags? he did not put in that article that he, um, you know, popped a squat and, threw feces all over the place and urinated on himself and everywhere, um, you know, so, yeah. I even hey, Liza, I mentioned that to you, didn't I? I was like, "Why aren't they talking about him throwing the dookie and stuff?" For real. I'll go into my history and see if I can pull that up, Mags, because I had that pulled up. Okay. On April 16th, the grand jury indicted him on 9 charges. See, I don't this is okay. I am not real smart on courts, okay? But it's beyond my comprehension that individuals can do things that could, um, you know, harm the public at large, harm different individuals, et cetera, and some cases, it takes a year for it to come in front of the grand jury. Example, a person manufacturing a substance. Why would it take a year? Could have been over a year. I don't remember. I know it was a year or more to convene the grand jury and prove this individual sold substances, manufactured substances, to undercover agents, right? Didn't make a whole lot of sense. Hey, DJ, DJ, won't you play me some music? Okay, I am gonna download the free YouTube music. Okay, it's gonna happen because I have to have music. I will go cray cray. I will. Okay, this is what he was charged with 9 charges: unlawful access to a computer, stalking, tampering with public records, violation of the EPO, misapplication of entrusted property, falsely reporting an incident, official misconduct, harassing communications, and downright harassment. Um, oh, I have a lot of questions. Please make sure it's in this article. It is my duty to this community to take immediate action when the behavior of any LMPD employee is called into question, especially when the behavior is criminal. I hold every officer in this department to high standards, will not tolerate anything less than exemplary and lawful conduct. Then why didn't you terminate him immediately? Instead, before you could even write up the termination papers, you let this guy resign. Hmm. Hmm. I don't. According to the IPO filed on March 17th, the victim said she'd been constantly followed and stalked by Sedano on foot as well as in his personal and police vehicles since she broke up with him 3 weeks prior. He sent her alarming messages, drove by her home, took photos of her during her lunch break. Not cool. In our most recent conversation, he stated, "They can't do anything to me if you do not have an order." Let me say this. If you have an idiot that tells you, "I can do this to you because you don't have an order," immediately go to your nearest government clerk office and say, "I need to file a restraining order." I wonder if it was like a civil restraining order because he was a cop. I wonder. Crazy. So she said this had been going on daily for the past 3 weeks. She can't go anywhere without being followed. Now, he surrendered peacefully, was arrested on new charges around 4:30 p.m. on April 17th. His attorney declined to comment. I'm sure he did. Oh, so in 2023, Sedano had used his weapon and unalived a man in the Clifton neighborhood. James Monty, 47, was lying in an alley off of Frankfurt Avenue when he pointed a weapon at Sedano. Sedano fired his weapon, hitting him in the neck area, and he was taken to a hospital and pronounced at that time. Wow. Wow, wow. I don't care what anybody says. I really don't. Stalking is not something someone does as a little fucking harmless pastime. Okay? It just don't freaking happen. It really don't. What is stalking? Where is that coming from? I hate that. What the hell was that? Oh, whatever it was, I just freaking stopped the tab. Um, oh my gosh. This is horrible. This just happened on the 5th. I mean, you guys, that is freaking crazy. Oh, I was gonna see if I can let me see if I can find that article real quick. It should be in my history because I had it pulled up. Ah, about Ernie. I was gonna read it. Figured I might as well read it. How the heck did I even get that to start with? For sure. So, I don't know why that article stopped right there. Hold on. Let's see if I can get back to the Google on that. Let's see if we can find out anything else. No, that was February. Well, that's a different one from February 2025. Dang. That's nuts. The world is a little cray-cray. Well, let me tell you, she's very fortunate that nothing else happened at all. And look, you can also stalk somebody on social media too, whether you believe it or not. People have stalkers on social media all the time. Oh, I know what I was going to say about the grand jury stuff. And I have to say, allegedly, even though this was said by Frank Light's sister, that they did not arrest him, okay, for being in possession of horrendous child content, I'll say, for a year. A whole year is what she said, right? How are they letting these people walk the streets? Walk the streets. I don't understand it. The world is a vampire. The world is a vampire. Do, 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 do. So, this father of three, how do you say allegedly, fatally hit with ammunition from a handheld device after offering to drive a woman to a warming shelter because she was cold. He was found unalive with a wound to his head, we'll say, because he offered a woman a ride to a warming shelter. He was found unalived in the early hours of the morning of Sunday, February 1st. They said he would always offer people a ride if he saw them walking. What do you want me to stop? Do you want me to sing you the whole song? I will. I don't have the music to go with it. I will torture you today, lady. Okay. So, I mean, would you ask anyone if they needed a ride in 2026? I don't know. Oh, Ernie said that all the time? Yeah, he's probably saying that right now, so they'll keep thinking he's a little cray-cray. I shouldn't have said that. That was mean. Sorry, Jesus. Okay. Why was he out in the early morning hours? RemainCom wants to know. They found him at North 9th and Olive in downtown around 2:30 a.m. His fiancée told the outlet that Palmer had been collecting scrap metal on Saturday when he saw a woman by the name of Brittany Ridboy, 36 years old, said that Palmer would always offer people a ride when he saw them walking. As far as they know, she asked him at a gas station to take her to a warming shelter because she was cold. Relative to the homicide of a man in his 50s in downtown on February 1st, 2026, officers arrested Brittany Ridboy, 36 years old. They issued charges against her: redrum in the first degree, armed criminal action, unlawful possession of a firearm, and tampering in the first degree. Law enforcement did not confirm if she was the woman described in asking Palmer to take her to a warming shelter. They reached out to GoFundMe for a comment. Why did you need a comment from GoFundMe? Here's Brittany right there. For sure. A friend of Palmer was also in the vehicle at the time, but exited after allegedly noticing concerning behavior from Brittany. So Brittany got in the car, and whatever she was doing freaked out another individual in the car with Palmer. They captured the woman actually doing the crime, then driving his truck and leaving it stranded. Oh, that is so sad. That is sad, you guys. What is wrong with people? So, yes, they felt he was taken for granted. He was trying to help her. You know, three young children, right? That's what I said about, you know, individuals being on those dating sites and stuff. You can Google, I'll do it right now, just because that's what I do. Let's Google. Okay, let's see if we can do it like this. How many X crimes were committed that involved Hold on. We're going to say Grindr itself. How many were committed that involved individuals? Meeting on the, is it Grindr, GR? I don't even know what it is. Meeting on the Grindr website. Let's see if it says anything. So in no comprehensive global database tracking every crime, they have key findings regarding crimes involving Grindr include child sexual abuse and exploitation, going back all the way to 2015. More than 100 men in the U.S., including professionals like teachers and police officers, have faced charges for actually assaulting or attempting to meet minors on Grindr. The first 10 months of 2024, UK police received at least 13 reports of serious sexual offenses against children connected to this app. I'm not on Grindr, Mr. A. Are you kidding? No way, guy. I'm not. Don't worry about it. Thank you for looking out for me, though. In New South Wales, Australia, police reported 39 charges from 44 incidents linked to Grindr between January 2024 and July 2025. In Brazil, 5 men were unalived after arranging meetings on apps like Grindr. Wow. June 30th, 2025, 2019, November, 195/94 harassment. That's crazy. January 12th, 2025, 4 young boys, including 2 children under the age of 13, were allegedly raped by men they met on the popular dating app Grindr, according to reports made by police. Wow. No, I don't want to pay for you. Thank you, though. Thank you. For sure. I didn't know that kids could be on Grindr. Hey, Cinnamon Girl. Girl, you are good. Thank you for just popping in. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate it, girl. I gotta find that freaking article on Ernie. All right, hang on, I'll find it. Because I don't even know how it came in front of my face. Article about Ernie Shayol. Let's see if it'll pop up this way. Yes, it was the Harlan Enterprise. Here it is. Yeah, it was the Harlan Enterprise. Right here. Look, that's a good picture, Ernie. That's a good picture. Self-proclaimed bounty hunter from Everts arrested after live stream standoff with police. Live stream standoff with police. Well, that's kind of glorifying it, isn't it? Did you guys think it was a standoff? Did it look like a standoff to you guys? I mean, my kind of definition on standoff isn't what took place when law enforcement was there. I mean, okay. So he was arrested after a live stream standoff. Under this beautiful picture of Ernie. A self-proclaimed bounty hunter, Ernie Shell, formerly from Everts, is pictured in one of his social media promotional shots. Shell is a YouTube podcaster who has acquired a popular following. There is a article, an audio. I'm not going to play it though, because I'm kind of on probation with YouTube right now. And I don't want them to try to get me for third-party content. Right? Yeah, Vanita, a standoff for pink lemonade. That chick is one of these Sims. Mags, I mean, for real. I'm going to drop my link, and anybody who wants to come up, feel free to come up. I enjoyed talking to Angelo last night. I love talking to people with common sense. For real. What the hell am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm gonna check out a something StreamYard's offering me to say hey to everybody when they come in. I'm gonna cover this on my Facebook. Let me know, Mags. I'm curious to see what she got to say. I really am. Okay, so we are talking about Ernie Shell here, a Kentucky man with Harlan County connections, was arrested in Massachusetts on January 31st for being a fugitive from justice, along with assault and battery charges on multiple police officers. Okay, well, that's pretty right. It all played out in real time as thousands watched it on a YouTube live stream. Were there really thousands of people watching that? Thousands of people? Okay. Ernie Shell, whose friends and family say grew up in the Everts area, is a popular but controversial YouTuber who has made videos pertaining to everything from true crime to wrestling. He is a self-proclaimed bounty hunter, but this time the pursuer of fugitives became one himself and was arrested by the Medway Police Department in Massachusetts. After authorities report he initiated an armed barricade while live on YouTube. So wait a minute. We seen when he was in the house, he was behind the bathroom door. None of that was happening when law enforcement got there. He was cooperative. According to Medway Police Report, the department started receiving several calls relaying that a man later identified as Shell 46. You know, every time I read his age, I'm like, Ernie, dude, you're 46 years old. How the heck do you live the way you live? That is crazy to me, right? I didn't see any of that either. Not at all. Yeah, at the time, right. Yes, I agree, Mr. A. I agree. But what was it that Ernie said that something... Ernie basically said that on the outside, he was not what he was on the inside, right? Something along those lines. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of it. Ernie has got by with quite a bit. Quite a bit. And I think that his time finally came. He knew it was coming, and he wanted to go out with a bang. With a bang. And he did. He got the articles written about him. I don't care what anybody says. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him that only because, okay, don't get me wrong, for the fact that if he has to have some sort of freaking mental illness to even do something like he did on purpose. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But honestly, my opinion, it's what Ernie doesn't show us. It's areas that he's been. It makes you wonder if anything happened in some of these little out of the way towns that, you know, he was having a break from the bus, right? They usually stop in every little town. People can get out and stretch their legs, buy a little souvenir keychain. I just have to say, when he was filming that girl on that bus, and then he turned around and got off at the same place she did, That kind of creeped me out. I'm just saying, it kind of creeped me out. Okay, so Ernie grew up in Everts. We know what he did with the wrestlers. But Ernie became a fugitive himself. So Ernie was in the bathroom of his, I mean, you might as well just say it. They loved each other. They were lovers. They met on Grindr. That's scary in itself. Are these guys not thinking about their safety? I mean, I think it was the stuff he was consuming, not telling his partners about his health issues. Oh, look, Sherry, I get it. I completely get it. I don't feel sorry for him in that way. I don't condone anything that Ernie's done at all. I do not. And anybody can feel however they want to about the situation or him or whatever. I think a lot of people, honestly, and sorry that this ended up talking about Ernie, but you know, Ernie did a lot of things to a lot of people. He really did. Some not so good. I think it was a setup so he could postpone his argument. Yeah, absolutely. I agree too. I agree too. And I don't understand that because the dude is 40-something years old. Go take care of your fucking shit and move on. It's like the setup backfired. Yeah, that's why I think he kind of took it to the, no, you can have your opinion, Sherry, for real. You're good. You are good, ma'am. For real. I get exactly what you're saying. For sure. And people who have history with him, even a heck of a lot more than me even knowing of him. The only time that, I mean, yeah, me and I think Constance and Kels was up here messing with him one day and, you know, things like that. I think Sarah's panel, I think I went on. Him and Lisa was up there bickering back and forth or whatever. You know, I really didn't watch Ernie. My thing with Ernie was the what he acted like he knew about the Summerwells case. That was the really only interest that I had of Ernie. I mean, of course, anybody who followed Summer's case, you know, kind of Benny and Ernie were both going after each other. And I mean, it was crazy town, but you know, there's people that Ernie has really messed with. For sure. Yeah, I agree too. People, you know, a lot of us have had some really messed up lives and childhoods. For sure. And we don't do things like this. Ernie's family, and it's out there, anybody wants to watch it, basically came out and said Ernie was the type of person that seemed to want attention and, not and tell a fib about what his qualifications are and different things like that. And then, hey H, hey Dan, I realized watching him that I seen so much. I seen so much. He would say some really nasty shit. Well, H, that is the right thing to do, to pray for him. So there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, he threatened a lot of people. A lot of people. In horrible ways. Horrible ways. So, I mean, don't misunderstand me when I say it's fucking sad that doesn't necessarily mean that I feel sorry for him. It's just the fucking situation sad. It's fucking sad that someone would think that what they do is okay. I mean, what kind of individual can do what he has done and be okay with it? I mean, it's creepy. It's creepy. He's just a grown up. He should have known, but that's right, Mr. A. That's exactly right. He knew. And it's pretty fucking sick and sad when you're in your own fucking right mind and you basically assault 5 grown men with crap and urine all over you. To get to a hospital. Right? Kind of sick. Kind of sick. Because people would look at somebody doing that and they would automatically say that person has mental problems. Mental problems. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Okay, so the calls start coming in. They identified Ernie. He had the sharp instrument from the kitchen in the bathroom. We all seen him in the bathroom, checking the bathroom out, looking behind the mirror. Then he had him look behind the mirror in front of the fireplace because he felt somebody was behind it. And this is at 7:26 in the morning. Did he go to bed the night before, I wonder? I don't freaking know. Anyhow, I was just going to read this article, but I can't never keep my mouth shut. I always am giving my opinion. And yes, you guys' opinions are just as good as mine. They don't have to be the same. Chris is going to bail him out. If Ernie makes bail, he can't. He cannot bail him out. They are under strict orders. He is to stay in the establishment where he's at, I think, until the 20th. The 20th is when he goes for, what is it? Going to court for the mental stuff. So people were concerned for his safety. The report goes on to say Shell became combative and assaulted officers who were trying to transport him to the hospital for mental health purposes. That's not right, is it? They weren't trying to transport him to the hospital. He was in jail. They transported him to the hospital because what he did while he was there. Oh. Medway police dispatchers were able to locate the YouTube live stream. On the video, officers say it's Facebook. Upon entering the residence, they were able to determine that Shell had an arrest warrant issued in Kentucky. So I mean, I think that he thought that it wouldn't have been extraditable. I think he was surprised. I think this is just my opinion. I think all of this happened because I think he was surprised about the firearm stuff. Right? Yeah, the psych jail. Yeah, he's a flight risk. Absolutely. Based on the Massachusetts trial court docket info, it states do not release. I don't get it. I mean, I will never, make it my mission to try to make sense of Ernie's nonsense, but why would someone who comes on freaking social media and want you to listen to what he tries to teach you, and he wants you to listen to all these little words that he says or whatever, make such bad personal decisions. He's his own freaking worst enemy. I mean, it just seems like the dude is like, I will slide through this however I need to slide through it. Right? Okay. So, they located the live stream. They determined the arrest warrant out of Kentucky. Thousands of people were watching. They made contact with Ernie. He put the it was just a little pocket. It was one of them flip pocket things. And through de-escalation, we're able to take him into custody. Well, I mean, they're writing this like when law enforcement got there, Ernie was barricaded in the bathroom with that pocket thingy-mabob, and that they de-escalated the situation to take him into custody. That's what that sounds like to me. And then stating that he was combative when they were trying to transfer him to the hospital. I mean, he probably was, but from my understanding, they had him handcuffed to the gurney and handcuffs on him. Plus, they said they put one of them spit masks on him, remember? I mean, Shell built quite the following on social media with event promotions such as wrestling matches. He promoted himself as a bounty hunter, security and investigation specialist. Some claim even as an FBI informant. Oh, because I can't keep my mouth shut. You know, he had those masks. He had a bunch of fake badges and IDs and stuff. He had all of that stuff, you guys, in his in a bag that he had in that van. I just remember that. I don't know. Okay. Ernie was pretty popular on social media. He has many fans and followers, but he also has enemies. If you search his name on YouTube, you'll be able to scroll through a long list of podcasters and influencers who call Shell out as a scam artist. Not only him being scammy, but him, threatening people and stuff. That's the worst part about it, for sure. It's all alleged, but there does appear to be some criminal charges connected to Shell because of the fugitive from justice warrant for his arrest in Kentucky. Well, you could have gave what the warrant was for. During his live stream, police are videoed talking to him, asking him where he was from, where he was headed. He said he'd been in Massachusetts for about 3 days visiting friends. So, okay. He already had friends there, obviously. He talked about a girlfriend. I don't need to know about that. Really. We know why he was there. He was meeting up with his Grindr date. He said, I move around. He kept asking police for an Uber despite being detained. And one officer did bring him a glass of pink lemonade out of the refrigerator when he said he was thirsty. Law enforcement was very nice to him. They were. You're being detained. Kentucky wants you. That's a song. Mr. Shell, you're being detained. Kentucky wants you back again. I don't know what happened down there, but you're being detained, sir. Kentucky wants you. Shell's live stream video went viral. Plenty of his social media critics all throughout the nation who took the opportunity to blast him even more. Many took up for him too. There were those especially found in the comment sections of the viral video who shared empathetic words of encouragement for him. One post said, so sad. I don't wish anything bad for Ernie. And a lot of us don't, only because I just feel like wishing really bad things to happen to a person, it's just not in my DNA, right? But, I think that a criminal needs to be brought to justice. And if they are doing things themselves that is making situations a trillion times worse for themselves, they threaten people with unaliving them, make their lives miserable. They need to be punished for that. That's just the way I feel about it. But I don't wish somebody to, freaking go to the extreme. But you have to figure too. Look at the shit he's doing. Okay. I need to get this done. Okay, so Ernie said he needed a drink. He was going to take some pink lemonade. So Ernie already knew the pink lemonade was in the refrigerator for sure, because he said he'd take a glass of that. Then all of a sudden he wouldn't drink the pink lemonade. He thought that his grinder date, Chris, may have put something in it, or, that's what he was, putting out. Okay, so Ernie became a social media click view type of guy for the day. So, so this individual writing this article says, the more I come to realize when people say mean and evil things to him, it doesn't help the situation for Ernie. Please stop with the hate. There's a lot of people, and I'm just going to say this, that isn't hurting freaking Ernie. Okay? They're not hating on the guy. They are showing Mr. Shell from Mr. Shell putting these things out, saying these things, doing these things himself. Social media is forever. They should have tested the pink lemonade. Ooh, that's interesting, Sherry. Do you think Maybe Ernie already put something in pink lemonade. Maybe they should have asked Chris that. They should have asked Chris if he drank the Kool-Aid. For real. Nothing about the warrant. Yeah. Okay. Another red. I went to school with the Ernie. He was a good person with a good heart. I sure hope he gets better. Then there was the comment, no judgment here. Everybody struggles. Hope he finds help. Officers responded to the live stream. Now listen, officers responding to Shell's live stream barricade suspected there could be some mental or behavioral issues going on after Shell kept asking them to look behind a large mirror on the floor propped up against the wall. Right? Ernie kept telling him somebody might be behind it. Officers initiated a mental health evaluation based on Ernie's behavior and information shared by people who had interacted with him regularly. They said, the police report stated, he became combative in the department booking room and was forcefully transported. One officer was injured. Mr. Shell was not. He was eventually evaluated and transported to Bridgewater State Hospital. That says nothing about him going from the booking room to a cell. He's part of the Crama podcast scene that combines true crime with drama. Shell frequently podcasted about Summer Wells. Did he? The highly publicized missing child case out of Rogersville, Tennessee. He was featured on a news segment on WYMT TV Mountain News in 2017 in a piece titled Mask Maker Brings Hollywood Horror to Eastern Kentucky. That's where the mask maker dude busted him out, right? Yeah, they just went for a welfare check in the beginning because that's what was asked for, right? Only when he was desperate for cash apps. I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, people would have to go back and, you know, watch some of these Facebook stuff. And do you remember? Oh, remember this? When I had pulled up Ronnie King's Facebook. Ronnie King was unalived. Ernie's brother, he testified against him. He's in prison. He took a plea for complicity or something like that. And he had said those horrible things about his brother. And so the only proof I even had that the stuff he said was horrible, because the next day when I went to pull it up, it was gone. And I had mentioned, I was like, I'm going to pull this up. And I kind of described what he was saying to that family. It was, I mean, he was saying some messed up stuff about his brother. That was in 2013. It was a former Everett's mayor, Ronnie King. So, you know, in 2020, I think, is when they actually went to court. So this is what is happening as far as his court arraignment. There are several factors going on in Shell's case, including being a fugitive from justice in Kentucky. That and the A&B charges on the officers were enough to arrest Mr. Ernest Shell, but a court-ordered mental evaluation has Ernie currently locked up in a mental facility in Massachusetts for 15 days. He is locked up in there. Yes, he was all over that page. I started going over it and stuff started disappearing. For real. I mean, I was just glad. I think I was talking to flies when I found it. So I had a witness that of what I saw, and it went poof. The way the cops responded, it would be interesting to get the call recording that it was called in. What do you mean, DJ? Are you wanting the calls of the people who called in? Is that what you mean? I mean, if you really look at it, every person that called in, you know, was obviously concerned about Ernie, right? I should have. I know. I don't record conversations. I don't screenshot shit. I don't. Which is not good for me because, wow, I would have some really good stuff. I really would. For sure, for sure. I mean, he was saying some really nasty stuff about his brother. He absolutely was. All right, so he's got 15 days. He's doing 15 days. So, all right. The fact that he's a fugitive from justice from Kentucky meant that the Medway Police Department would only be able to hold him for 10 days. 10 days to give Kentucky the opportunity to come and get him. But during his arraignment on Monday is when they ordered him to have the mental health evaluation, which means he's going to be locked up at Bridgewater State Hospital for around 2 weeks. That is the primary issue going on with Mr. Shell now, and that supersedes, as of right now, the felony warrant. So because Ernie had the warrant out of Kentucky for a probation violation, his fugitive from justice status was entered into the NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center data system, validated his crime had been a felony. And he will be back in court in Massachusetts for a status hearing on February 20th. So, yeah. I mean, good luck to you, Ernie. For real. For real. I've been on here 2 hours. Can't believe I've been on here 2 freaking hours. Well, no. I started at 4:20, so I got 20 minutes. Well, I don't know. I mean, I got my own opinion about the stuff, and do you really? I mean, no, I thought they changed that. Oh, you mean when he goes to court on the 20th? Is that what you're talking about? Him possibly getting bond then? I would think, this is just me thinking, okay, that when he goes to court on the 20th, that, well, he's gonna have to answer to those assault charges. He's gonna have to answer to all of that. If he does somehow get some sort of bond, I would think, like they said, that he be kept at the jail for 10 days to give Kentucky the opportunity to come and get him. That's what the guy said. So if they take, because he wasn't at the jail for 10 days before he did what he did, and they took him to the hospital, right? Oh, the last time he was arrested? Oh, fundraisers to bond him out. My opinion on that is how is that helping the guy by bonding him out, knowing he's gonna run, right? Knowing he's gonna run. But to each their own. To each their own. He's just gonna keep doing what he's doing. And if people feel like that he really does have these mental problems that he says he has, I would think that they would want him to get help instead of encouraging his fucking nonsense. But, you know, I mean, he is a really good LARPer. He really is. He is a good LARPer. But no, I don't think if you're a human being, you know, you're either going to not wish harm on the guy, right? Or he's done horrible things to people. So I could see some of them people saying, you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm just saying. But you really do want to watch, you know, not only some adults need to, you know, be careful with who they meet on social media. Our kids are meeting these monsters on these gaming apps and stuff. And like I said, I remember I covered a case, and I cover so many cases, it's hard for me to remember their names. The little girl had her parents, her adoptive parents, were very diligent on watching her social media and, these apps and stuff that she was on. And guess what? She ended up having like an old laptop that she found that she was actually using to contact individuals on social media. And it did not end well for her. You just cannot stress to children enough how dangerous it is out here. Dangerous. The big organization that I've come across recently, because there's a lot of different organizations, and they are organizations. There are thousands of people. There are thousands of kids that these individuals are getting to convince these minor children to do deplorable things. And it's horrible, you guys. It's freaking horrible. Well, I don't know. I don't know Ernie well enough to really give my opinion on if he would harm a child or not. I'm not going to say anything like that. But it was interesting when, I guess it was an old girlfriend. I'm talking about when he got in a fight at the trailer park. I've showed that before. I think that little girl was about 10 years old. And the fight was over Ernie contacting that little girl. That's what the fight was over. Now, I can't sit here and say, they were really, they were really punching each other. So a lot of what Ernie did, you had to wonder if it was even, if it was scripted or not scripted. This guy was punching himself in the freaking face. Really. Because he was tough. Tough guy, like it really rough guy. That's a little Billie Eilish song. So, but I don't know. I don't know, y'all. And sorry that the conversation went that way. I really didn't intend for it to. But I just converse. Converse. So, yes, I hope nothing but prayers for little Haley Busby's family, for sure. How come we don't? I'm going to have to find some freaking positive stories for you guys, for sure. There were 3 kids that were hiding in a trunk during a DUI arrest. What? Colorado. Footage of a DUI arrest of a man who had 3 children hiding in the truck. officer asked the man if he'd been drinking, then asking him to do the roadside maneuvers. I couldn't do roadsides. I couldn't do it. I can tell you right now, I would fail them doing that, wanting me to do that. I would fail. And I wouldn't even be drinking. Okay, he admitted he had 3 children hiding in the trunk. The children were unharmed despite the freezing temperature. That's nuts. Why would you do that? The footage is on the Facebook. I will pull it up. Officers observed a car driving recklessly in Westminster, Colorado. They immediately could smell the alcohol. In the footage, the officer could be heard asking the driver why he believed he was being stopped. Did you drink alcohol? The driver said, I think you stopped me because I was acting like an idiot, and denied any alcohol use. The officer said, you're lucky you didn't hit somebody. Are you sure? Are you sure, sir, that you didn't drink any alcohol? Because I can smell it. They had him do some roadside maneuvers, to which the driver initially agreed, but then quickly changed his mind. I'm sure he did. After that, the officer could be heard telling him, you don't want to complete these? All right, put your hands behind your back. After the driver was handcuffed by the officers, he admitted that he had 3 kids hiding in the trunk. The officer said, you didn't think that that would be a good idea to say something before? They opened the trunk. There was 3 kids squeezed together in the back. Wow. Oh, they did not identify whether the children belonged to the driver in its statement. What? We'd like to point out that it was in freezing temperatures. The kids were unharmed. Several bottles of alcohol were also recovered from inside the vehicle. CPS was contacted. The kids were released to family. Okay, well, if the kids were released to family, then they knew who the kids belonged to. The man was arrested on suspicion of DUI, reckless driving, failure to provide a balanced insurance, 3 counts of child abuse. He went to jail. He went to the jail. He did. Wow. You know, I don't understand how we know what alcohol does, right? How it makes people act, you know, happy drunk, sloppy drunk. Everybody knows the difference, right? You know, mean drunk. But yet, alcohol's legal. Alcohol's legal. Don't make no sense to me at all. Then we got a 7-year-old who's got firing off rounds inside an elementary school classroom. A 7-year-old. I mean, sad, sad. Sad world we're living in. I got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So, Mag said she's covering that article over on her Facebook. Mads, I don't have your Facebook. So, you know, y'all go check that out. I'm not a big Facebooker, you guys. I apologize for that too. I need to get on my and I apologize for not going into my the Remain Calm group. So all right, last one. I will quit boring you people. Police find 4-foot crocodile, 38 snakes, and 19 lizards during a substance raid on a 39-year-old man's home. 3 hedgehogs, 9 cats, and nearly 30 dogs were also allegedly found in the property in Australia. Dude, you had a lot of freaking animals. How big was the property? Let's find out. 39-year-old man in Australia has been charged with weapons, substances, illegal animal trading, offenses after law enforcement found over 50 reptiles and 40 animals, weapons, and alleged cannabis. An alleged cannabis farm. He had a whole farm. Yeah, the stolen battery. Yeah, DJ, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing your comment. Absolutely. I mean, DJ, the dude, he said he had cancer. That was messed up. That was messed up. It's like he took 2 things right there that he knew would cause a lot of issues with a lot of people and used that basically to give himself attention so people would talk about him. I mean, that's the way I seen that. But then again, here I am talking about Ernie. He's freaking, he's just an addictive kind of guy. For sure. A crocodile, a hedgehog, a video of a white snake, as well as a photo of the alleged cannabis farm. That's crazy. They found him during a substance bust. Not every day we enter a premises. There's a saltwater crocodile in the bedroom. There's a hydroponic cannabis system set up there with 28 dogs around it. The scene was chaotic. Ooh, look at that cannabis. Okay. Ongoing investigation into the supply of substances, possession of firearms. They stopped and searched a vehicle and arrested a 39-year-old man. When they searched his property, wow, he had a lot of marijuana. Oh, 60,000. They said he had about $60,000 worth of marijuana. I used to have a hedgehog. I had a hedgehog before. They are so cool. The sweetest little thing. She was so sweet. So, illegal animal trading offenses, including 8 counts of deal in or attempted to deal in protected animals and cultivating the cannabis. He refused bail and was due to appear at court on Thursday. So they refused his bail because of the weed. Crazy. Craziness. All right, my butt's getting off here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to Haley's story. Justice for Haley. I really hope she gets justice. You know, but like we talked about, there was a reason that the suspect took law enforcement to the area where Haley had been placed. Just laid out there like nothing, for sure. I'm gonna pull up tomorrow. Let's find out what's going on with Melody Buzzard for sure. For sure. And I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Luna, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to my low budget channel. Like I always say, you never know which direction I'm gonna take. I just talk about so many different things. So that's just the way we do over here, for real. You know, that's just the way we are. Thank you to my mods. My mods are the bestest people, and I very much appreciate them. I do. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, and go enjoy whosever channel you want. Be you, do you. And let me say this. No, I ain't gonna say it. Oh, well, you go for it. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes because I have OCD and I went over a little bit. I'm at 2:25. You have 5 minutes to troll her, Angelo. Ready and go. I thought that song was so cool yesterday. For sure. I appreciate you, Angelo. I appreciate you. I really do. And don't forget what I asked. I need to start doing some some polls. Because I asked you guys earlier, do you think that they should have registries for DV? Just a question, for sure. Yes, the Little House on the Prairie lady, her husband is in big trouble for diddling individuals he shouldn't have been diddling. I mean, what is up with that, Little House on the Prairie lady? Doesn't sound Little House on the Prairie to me. Sounds like, what is up with that? Or did you guys see where they made a documentary about Melania Trump? Did you guys see that? I seen where they did it. For sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. We will definitely be talking about many, many more cases. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to go check out the womanslaw.org site. It goes into different, you can pull up different states to see different women's laws. I mean, this is really cool, I have to say. Okay, that's for Kentucky. Let's check out Indiana. That is really cool, you guys. For sure. Go check out that site. I mean, it gets into a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Parental kidnapping, divorce, workplace protections. This is amazing. Amazing site. Go check it out. All right, I'm getting off here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. As I said, do you, be you. Right? And, you know, don't ever feel like you have to lie to impress anybody. You don't. Just be you. For real. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I prefer people who just tell the truth. Don't even ask me why that even popped into my mind, but that popped into my mind. Polls. Polls. Not poll, Poles. Okay? All right, class. I'm getting my ass off here. Have a good night, you guys. Have a good dinner. Curl up and watch a movie. You know, read a book. Whatever. Whatever. Whatever you want. Do whatever you want. If you want to troll somebody, you go right ahead and do it. I'm just saying. I'm not a good troll. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't be a good troll. I like saying funny stuff, you know, stuff that has a sense of humor, kind of, you know, putting song lyrics, something like that. I mean, that's just the way I am. But I never go anywhere because I'm a low budget bitch. Not saying I love a lot of your channels out there. I really do. I think most of you are super freaking talented. Talented. More talented than me. For real. I'm more of a learn how to do things hands-on, right? I mean, I can read how to do things, but I'm more of a hands-on kind of learn how to do it type of person. So, good night. I'm sorry I don't have any music pulled up, but I will next time. I promise. Have a good night. Have a good night, people's husbands. Mr. Mustang, Kentucky. Angelo H. Davis, because you're both guys. And I know you're guys. And Chris is not here, or I would probably call Chris a guy who ain't a guy. I mean, it happens. For sure. And please, anybody that needs prayers, I am sending them your way. I am. And look, if anyone out there in the YouTube universe needs to take a nap, nobody's going to hold that against you. Sometimes you just need to take a nap. I'm just saying. It'll change your whole attitude. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Later. Later, boss bitches.